Another reason a lot of you guys are not seeing any gains is because you have no idea what's going on with your body. I mean, absolutely no idea. We're talking people who don't track calories, who don't track workouts. Tracking is extremely important. This week was actually going to be about tracking or technique. So if you want it to be about technique, you got to wait till next week. Blame Miriam for that one. She's the one who gave me the suggestion. But today we're talking about tracking. So as I just alluded, tracking sort of a 2-for-1 in this particular scenario. Tracking your calories, this is going to be extremely important because I may have mentioned this before, but if you're going to gain, you need to be in a surplus. That means eating more calories than your maintenance. If you're going to lose weight, lose fat, lose mass, you need to be in a deficit. That's less calories than your maintenance. But how? Please tell me how you would know what a surplus or a deficit is if you have, one, no idea what your maintenance calories are, two, no idea how much you're eating. If you don't have an accurate idea as to what you're eating, then you don't have any way of knowing what a surplus or a deficit is. You're just winging it. You're flying completely blind, which, I mean, if you don't really care about your goals and you don't really care about progress and it's not really a big deal and you don't really, that's fine. That's fine if that's what it is that you're looking for. But you need to know these numbers if you're going to have any hope of taking control of your fitness journey. So this is going to involve tracking the foods you eat, putting in what you're eating and how much of that you're eating. You're going to need to track things you're drinking too. That's an area where a lot of people slip up. They drink so much of their calories. They have no idea how much of their calories are being taken in just through liquids, juices, pops, that sort of thing. And then they wonder why they're continuously gaining weight. You're drinking all your calories and you don't even know it because you don't really pay any attention to it. It's super easy for that to just end up spiraling out of control. You need to know these numbers. You need to understand what they are. And in certain cases, most cases, one of the best ways to do that is just start tracking both what you're intaking, so knowing the foods you're eating and the drinks you're drinking, tracking them in some sort of tracking app. There's so many out there. And then also tracking your weight week by week. If you notice that you're going up in weight every single week, look at the calories you're intaking. If it's pretty consistent, then that means you're consistently over your maintenance. Same thing is true in reverse. If you look at your weight week by week by week, and you're constantly losing weight, then you're constantly in a deficit. You're constantly under your maintenance calories for the day. And you can adjust accordingly, according to your goals. Workout tracking is just as important. One of the fundamental principles of progress in the gym is progressive overload. And again, how do you know what progressive overload is if you don't know what you've been doing? You have no real evidence, no proof of it. If you track it, you can keep an eye on what's going on. You can see, oh, I've been increasing my weights week over week for this long. Cool, I'm getting stronger. That is a big deal. It's a big difference. You can also track things like your weight in a lot of those trackers as well. It'll kind of do double duty, which makes your life a lot easier. And there's other ways to track progress for your workouts, of course, like having better control over the weight or feeling more comfortable through an exercise, even though you're doing the same weight. Maybe one week it was a struggle. You tried really hard and it was really hard. You can make note of that. And then 3 or 4 weeks down the line, it feels a lot easier. You're still doing the same weight, but it feels easier, it feels smoother, it feels like you have more control over it. That's worth noting. That's an indicator that you are progressing. And then once you feel like you're in a place where that control is pretty substantial, it almost feels like this is too easy, you can increase the challenge and progressively overload yourself, thereby seeing progress. But a lot of people just leave it to chance. They don't track anything. I mean, you don't have to use an app for all this stuff. You can track your workouts on a piece of paper. And if you really truly feel like you want to do it, you can track a lot of your calories and stuff using an Excel spreadsheet if you really wanted to. The point is, if you don't know what's going on, you can't make any decisions. You're just flying around blindly, attempting to find some direction in your life with these things, when you're never going to. You've never had a hope in hell of finding that direction because you're not actually paying attention to the data that would give you the ideas to what direction you should be moving in and what direction you are moving in at this particular point in time. So, do yourself a favor. Start tracking your calories. Start tracking your workouts. Maybe start tracking your weight, but that's really up to you. But that can provide a very important piece of the puzzle to help you figure out exactly what's going on so you can make some educated guesses. All right. Simple and sweet. We're done. Set over. Rack it.